Former President Donald Trump continues to tout the vaccine, despite being booed by some of his MAGA adherents. I know that he was very, very upset when he had called Bill O'Reilly. The edge of tears. I can't believe that. I can't believe they were there to boo me. They were there to see me. And all I did was just say, that I got the booster to the vaccine. Undeterred, however, Trump then went on Candace Owens' show, which, by the way, Candace Owens, interestingly enough, got a massive donation from Donald Trump. Or was that the other way around? Not entirely sure. Nonetheless, there was money that changed hands. But nonetheless, he went on Candace Owens, who is a notorious anti-vax grifter, who is likely very much vaccinated. But he's going to say this. Take a look.
Where do you stand on these vaccine mandates? And obviously, I know that you are pro-vaccine. Obviously, you did everything you could to get this vaccine out. I know where you stand on the vaccine.
It was one of the greatest achievements. We did it in less than 9 months.
To be able to do that.
Yeah,
but now it's taken a twist, right? It's gotten, now we went from this is a good thing and people should have this option to military men, you're going to have to resign because you're not getting this vaccine. Where do you stand on that?
Well, I stand on, forget about the mandates, that people have to have their freedom, but at the same time, the vaccine is one of the greatest achievements of mankind. We would have had in 1917, remember the Spanish flu, killed perhaps 100 million people. Actually, it ended the First World War because the soldiers were so, a lot of people don't know that. The soldiers got so sick. It was a terrible thing. There were no vaccines. There was no anything. I came up with a vaccine, with 3 vaccines. All are very, very good. Came up with 3 of them in less than 9 months. It was supposed to take 5 to 12 years.
And yet more people have died under COVID this year, by the way, under Joe Biden, than under you. And more people took the vaccine this year. So people are questioning how...
Well, no, the vaccine worked, but some people aren't taking it. The ones that get very sick and go to the hospital are the ones that don't take the vaccine. But it's still their choice. And if you take the vaccine, you're protected. Look, the results of the vaccine are very good. And if you do get it, it's a very minor form. People aren't dying when they take the vaccine.
What about the masking of children?
The immediate turnaround. Oh no. He's not going with my anti-vax talking points. What about the masking of children? How horrible is that? How terrible to put a mask on a child. I'm sure you're now against Halloween. I don't know if you know this, but Halloween we put masks on children. I know. Okay. Right. Okay. Fun times. All right, so first off, let me just do something nearly unprecedented and give Donald Trump a tiny bit of credit. I want to see more of this. I think this is good. That's really it. That said, I will now take said credit away. So you had it for just a second. For just a second. Oh, there it goes. Oh, I'm going to take it away. And here's why. All right. Donald Trump did not come up with a vaccine. He didn't come up with a vaccine, not to mention 3 vaccines. No, that's absurd. Government-funded scientists came up with it. And not all in the United States, by the way. The Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine actually was developed in Germany by German scientists. But yes, now that said, did his administration push government resources towards the development of these vaccines to make sure that, again, Operation Warp Speed, right, that happened under his administration. And yes, the administration does get credit for that. A little bit, at least. I mean, honestly, we shouldn't even give him credit for that. Why is that? Because that's honestly what the role of government should be. That's what government's supposed to do. That's what governments all over the world did without question. Because that's what you're supposed to do. That's the role, that's the job of the government. And so, no, you know what? No credit for that. No credit for funding the development of the vaccine, because that's literally your freaking job. Low bar, people. You know what? Even I have been, my expectations of government in America are so fucking low. They're to the floor. Everybody, they're to the floor. Where now I'm out here, and so many people along with me are thinking about giving credit to somebody for doing the very basic function of government and actually being like, oh, wow, he actually did his job. He kind of did something a little bit. Bravo, bravo. And again, I don't care who's president. That's a very basic function of government that you are supposed to do. Wow, you did it. Congratulations. Maybe you should have done it a little bit earlier. I mean, and by the way, the other ridiculous thing about this, all right, is that the idea with Donald Trump sitting in a lab, little lab coat and tiny little gloves for his tiny little hands, holding a little beaker, because it can't be a full-size beaker, it's got to be a little mini beaker. That entire picture is comedy gold. Yeah, he's out there, I developed the vaccine. No, you get no credit for doing the minimum. None at all. None at all. And again, we don't, and here's the thing, our expectations are so low, we expect Donald Trump, I mean, even though it's Donald Trump, we look at him and it's like, oh, he's going to absolutely fail. Absolutely fail at everything. Oh my God, he actually did something that was somewhat good. Now, but anyway, now what's interesting here, the best part, is that it's an interesting change in messaging from the former president. As The Intercept noted, the former president had actually declined in the past in order to, he declined doing anything to try to save the lives of his fans and followers, as well as people in the United States, by declining to have himself photographed getting a shot or filmed getting a vaccine. Now, all the other presidents had done this, living presidents, political figures. They're like, here's what we're going to do. We're going to film ourselves or photograph ourselves getting the COVID-19 vaccine to try to encourage people to get the COVID-19 vaccine. Great. Now, in fact, they write, having spent the final months of his presidency downplaying the risk posed by the coronavirus pandemic, even discouraging his supporters from wearing masks at the PAC campaign rallies he addressed, Trump revealed in March that he had secretly received the first of 2 doses of the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine before leaving office in January. Later acknowledged he got the second shot as well. And so, again, the result, the reason that he had gotten these vaccines is COVID scared the shit out of him. It's true. The guy could not breathe. He was very close to death. Too close for his comfort, at least. And so he's like, oh my God, this is serious. Give me the vaccine. Just give it to me. Inject it into my veins. Literally. Just put it in there. Put it in there. I want the vaccine. But again, the subterfuge is because he didn't want his followers to know. And it's because the anti-vax crowd would despise him for it. And that's what they are doing now. He didn't want to risk his re-election chances by being open about taking the vaccine. Now, he misjudged this massively politically, right? Because it was a political response. And he didn't realize that his response to COVID was the very thing that had sunk his campaign. I think Donald Trump knows it wasn't voter fraud. No. And so he doesn't believe in voter fraud. He knows that it didn't, that's not what happened. Now he's going to spread that conspiracy theory. And really, he's just doing that in order to protect his ego. Because, Donald Trump, I'm a winner. I'm no loser. No. If I lose, it's because the game was rigged in the first place. It was rigged in the first place. But now he's out there because he's made this little calculation in his head. They're like, turns out if I want voters in 2024, because I'm running for president again, it might not be a good idea to murder them, to have them killed. Murder's the wrong word right there. But, maybe I should encourage him not to die from COVID-19 anymore. Because it didn't work out too well, because I ended up losing to Joe Biden. And so now I'm going to go and I'm going to pretend to be pro-vaccine, because actually I actually don't think that that's pretend either, because he is pro-vaccine. He's pro himself taking the vaccine, And now that it helps him, his chances politically, or he believes that it will help his chances politically, he's like, yeah, pro-vaccine, take the vaccine, take the vaccine. I encourage you to take the vaccine. But of course, he's like, oh, but I don't believe in the mandates, blah, blah, blah. That normal caveat. And then, again, he's out there saying and touting and taking credit for the vaccine. Oh, it's wonderful. We did the vaccine. You should take it. The people that are dying, that it's because there's a small fringe minority of people. Okay, but the thing is that they're not actually a minority. There are millions of people, of Americans, who refuse to vaccinate because that's part of their it's part of their political identity not to do that. Online conspiracy theories, Fox News. In fact, as of September 13th, 2021, about 52.8% of people in counties, that voted for Joe Biden were fully vaccinated compared to only about 39.9% of Trump counties. A 12.9 percentage point difference. And I've got some charts that I want to show you on that. And so if you just take a look at that. So there's vaccination rates in counties that voted for Biden versus ones that voted for Trump. Trump supporters, obviously, much lower level of vaccination. They're the ones that are filling up the hospitals because they refuse to get vaccinated. So now I've got another image here. Take a look at that. So that's the gap in vaccination rates. Back in April, very, very small. By May, huge. July, much, much bigger. And September, actually a little bit of an increase. So would you look at that? Fascinating. But, there's more data. A November Kaiser Family Foundation analysis found that a total of 60% of unvaccinated people identify as Republican or Republican-leaning, despite making about 41% of the adult population. So, according to the data, a Republican is 26% more likely than a Democrat to have not received a COVID-19 shot. So, again, taking all that, what does that all mean? Why the heel turn? As I mentioned before, COVID's killing his potential voters. He's running for president, and now he's like trying to desperately get people who are going to vote for him to not kill themselves, because he knows how much of a disaster COVID-19 is. Now, again, at the same time, he's saying the right thing, but he's saying it too late. And he's only saying it as an effort to help himself personally. And all those strings together pretty much shows that it's the most Donald Trump thing that he has ever done. Anybody thinking that he's actually ever really believed the anti-vax stuff, knowing that, he got vaxxed after COVID, after it scared the living shit out of him, essentially, and then thinking that, oh no, Donald Trump is now being brave and embracing the truth and acting to save lives. Well, if you're saying that, you don't know Trump. He rode the anti-vax wave because it was popular. And we see that not just, among Republicans, we also see that in social media. And let's be honest, reactionary anti-vax content online is very, very popular. So if you're just to watch online trends, which I do think Donald Trump pays attention to, if you're to watch online trends, video views, etc., again, it's all about the television, right? Or the amount of views. Well, and again, if you watch people like Joe Rogan, for example, you'd think that, being anti-vax, incredibly popular. But it's only popular with a very insular community of very right-wing people, which is not the majority of the country. So now he's trying to do the other side, to be the pro-vax side. Now, that said, at the end of all of this, if it does help convince some of his supporters to get vaccinated, I'm not going to argue with the result. Sure, and I hope it happens. And if this does that, but also, I don't know, destroys his ability to get enough people to vote for him in 2024, his election chances, such the better. Just know the reality. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like and share with your friends. You can subscribe and help out the channel by becoming a patron. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf, or you can become a channel member as well by hitting the join button below.